$673,441. That exact number is seared into my memory like a brand across my soul. Not 673,000 or almost 700,000, but $673,441, down to the penny. That's how much vanished from my MetaMask wallet after an Instagram trader named Marcus Chen, with his verified blue checkmark and 850,000 followers, convinced me to transfer my USDT into his exclusive arbitrage fund on a platform called Alpha Quant Pro. The notification sound from my phone still makes my stomach drop. That cheerful ping that announced my financial devastation at 2:34 a.m. on a Tuesday morning when the withdrawal I'd requested 12 hours earlier was declined with a generic system maintenance message. Marcus thought he was scamming some middle-aged tech consultant who'd gotten lucky with early Bitcoin investments, posting Instagram stories from his rented Lamborghini while my life savings evaporated into digital vapor. He had no idea he'd just stolen from someone who tracks blockchain scams for the FBI cybercrime division, someone who's traced over $12 billion in cryptocurrency fraud and testified as an expert witness in 68 federal cases. He stood there in his Miami penthouse, designer shoes clicking against Italian marble, absolutely convinced he'd pulled off the perfect digital heist while sipping Dom Perignon that cost more than most people's monthly rent. What Marcus didn't know was that blockchain creates an immutable record of every crime, and I know how to read that permanent ledger better than anyone alive. I'm Robert Hayes, and watching Marcus celebrate his successful trading month while the bitter taste of betrayal filled my mouth like copper pennies, I felt something I rarely experience in my professional life: the cold, surgical rage that precedes a federal takedown. The warmth from my home office space heater contrasted sharply with the ice water feeling in my veins as morning sunlight streamed through my windows, illuminating the multiple monitors that would soon become weapons in my hunt for justice. In 10 weeks, Marcus would be standing in handcuffs before a federal judge, watching his cryptocurrency empire freeze in real time while prosecutors read charges under 18 U.S.C. 1343 for wire fraud and 31 U.S.C. 5324 for structuring financial transactions to avoid reporting requirements. And I would be the expert witness whose blockchain forensics analysis put him in federal prison for 25 years with no possibility of parole before serving 85% of his sentence. What would you do if someone with nearly 1 million followers scammed you out of your family's future while flaunting their luxury lifestyle on social media? Drop your country flag in the comments because I want to know how financial predators like this operate in different parts of the world, and whether you've encountered similar sophisticated fraud schemes in your region. The seduction didn't begin with money. It started with education and the careful cultivation of trust over a period of months. The kind of long-term psychological manipulation that separates sophisticated criminals from amateur scammers. Marcus Chen appeared in my Instagram feed during the crypto winter of 2022, when Bitcoin had crashed from its all-time high of $69,000 down to $16,000, and retail investors were panic selling their positions while institutional buyers quietly accumulated at discount prices. His content was different from the typical crypto influencer garbage that floods social media with get-rich-quick promises and rocket ship emojis. Marcus posted detailed technical analysis of market conditions, explained complex DeFi protocols with genuine understanding, and shared trading strategies that demonstrated real knowledge of institutional arbitrage techniques that most retail investors never encounter. His bio read, "Former Goldman Sachs quant trader, DeFi strategist, helping 850K plus navigate crypto markets," with verification badges and professional headshots that screamed legitimacy to anyone scrolling through financial content. When he started following my account and liking my comments about blockchain forensics and cryptocurrency regulation, I felt genuinely flattered that someone with his apparent credentials and massive following found my technical analysis interesting enough to engage with on a personal level. The first direct message came in March 2023, appearing in my Instagram inbox with a screenshot of one of my LinkedIn articles about tracking stolen cryptocurrency through privacy mixers and decentralized exchanges. Robert, I've been following your forensic work, and your insights on blockchain analysis are incredibly sophisticated, the message read, accompanied by a professional headshot and what appeared to be a genuine compliment about my technical expertise. I'm curious about your thoughts on how the same forensic techniques could be used to identify arbitrage opportunities before they become widely known to institutional traders. Would love to connect and discuss some ideas I've been developing. The message felt personal and professional, exactly the kind of intellectual engagement that appeals to someone who spends their days analyzing complex financial crimes and testifying about technical blockchain concepts to federal juries who barely understand how email works. Our conversations evolved naturally over the following weeks, with Marcus sharing insights about upcoming protocol launches and regulatory developments, while I explained how certain smart contract vulnerabilities create forensic breadcrumbs that investigators can follow months or even years later. Gradually, we developed what felt like a genuine professional relationship, built on mutual respect for each other's expertise in different aspects of the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Marcus's content remained consistently high quality throughout this period, with him correctly predicting several major market movements, including the collapse of several DeFi protocols and the regulatory crackdown on unregistered securities offerings that caught many crypto projects completely off guard. When he started a private Telegram group called Alpha Insights Pro for verified professionals only, I felt honored to be invited, alongside other blockchain experts, institutional traders, and cryptocurrency developers whose credentials I could independently verify through LinkedIn and other professional networks. The private group was where Marcus's true sophistication became apparent to everyone involved, as he shared allocation opportunities and pre-launch protocols, explained advanced yield farming strategies that weren't publicly documented, and provided market intelligence that consistently proved accurate over time. Group members were regularly posting screenshots of impressive monthly returns, sharing detailed testimonials about life-changing profits, and treating Marcus like a cryptocurrency oracle who could see around corners and predict market movements before they happened. The social proof was overwhelming and came from people whose professional reputations I could verify independently, creating a level of credibility that would have been impossible to fake without enormous resources. The private Telegram group Alpha Insights Pro became Marcus's final psychological weapon, a carefully orchestrated echo chamber where social proof flowed like digital heroin straight into my professional ego. The smell of fresh coffee mixed with anticipation each morning as I checked the group, watching verified professionals compete for Marcus's attention while posting screenshots of impressive monthly returns that made my forensic accountant salary look pedestrian. Dr. Sarah Martinez from Fidelity shared $180,000 in profits from Marcus's DeFi recommendations, her LinkedIn profile confirming 15 years managing institutional portfolios. James Wilson, a Chainlink blockchain developer, posted detailed smart contract analysis showing how Marcus's insights had helped him identify vulnerabilities before public disclosure. The social proof wasn't just overwhelming, it was independently verifiable through professional networks I trusted, creating credibility that would have required enormous resources to fabricate convincingly. Marcus never directly solicited investments in the group, instead dropping casual mentions of private arbitrage opportunities available only to select members, hinting at returns that made traditional investments look like savings accounts. The psychological manipulation was textbook cult dynamics, with Marcus positioning himself as the benevolent leader, generously sharing institutional-level knowledge with worthy disciples. Members hung on his every prediction, treated his market analysis like gospel, and expressed gratitude for access to opportunities unavailable to retail investors trapped in traditional financial systems. The fear of missing out was carefully cultivated through detailed explanations of how institutional capital would reduce returns for smaller investors once opportunities became widely available. The direct message arrived in August, appearing in my Instagram inbox with the metallic taste of opportunity coating my tongue. Robert, given your forensic accounting background and deep understanding of market mechanics, I think you'd be perfect for an exclusive arbitrage fund I'm launching. AlphaQuant Pro leverages institutional liquidity pools and proprietary algorithms to exploit micro discrepancies across global exchanges, generating consistent 8 to 12% monthly returns independent of market volatility. He presented it as intellectual partnership rather than mere investment, appealing to my professional pride while emphasizing the security features that would resonate with someone who'd investigated countless financial crimes. Multi-signature cold storage, institutional-grade KYC compliance, robust insurance policies protecting against hacks, even third-party audits from firms I could research and verify. Emily was starting her senior year, and college tuition for top-tier engineering programs loomed like a financial storm cloud over our family planning. My crypto portfolio had weathered the bear market better than most, but the prospect of consistent double-digit monthly returns felt like discovering a money printer in my basement. Marcus offered a personal video call where he walked me through the AlphaQuant Pro dashboard, showing real-time trade executions and daily profit accruals on other investor accounts. The interface was flawless, the numbers were staggering, and Marcus's calm confidence was utterly convincing as he spoke of the fund as legacy building rather than mere profit generation. I started cautiously with $10,000 USDT, transferring from Coinbase to the MetaMask address provided by AlphaQuant Pro's onboarding system. The platform interface exceeded most legitimate exchanges I'd encountered in forensic investigations, with real-time portfolio tracking, detailed transaction histories, and comprehensive reporting that screamed institutional sophistication. My test deposit was confirmed within minutes, the dashboard showing funds allocated across multiple arbitrage strategies with names like cross-exchange USDC spread capture and DeFi protocol yield optimization that matched Marcus's previous educational content perfectly. Daily returns appeared immediately, small but consistent profits that validated every technical explanation he'd provided over months of relationship building. The escalation felt natural, almost inevitable. After 2 weeks of successful small withdrawals that cleared blockchain verification, I increased to $50,000, then $100,000, each time seeing proportional returns that made my conservative investment strategy feel like financial suicide. The taste of success was addictive, each withdrawal confirmation cooling the adrenaline with relief while building confidence for larger positions. Marcus announced expanded cross-chain opportunities requiring larger capital pools, explaining how institutional investors would monopolize higher return strategies once the platform launched publicly. The deadline pressure was subtle but effective, with allocation slots limited by smart contract architecture and filled first-come, first-served among existing beta participants. The decision that would haunt my dreams came in November, when I liquidated traditional investment accounts and borrowed against my 401k, converting everything to cryptocurrency for the ultimate AlphaQuant Pro position. The wire transfer from my bank to Coinbase felt like crossing a bridge toward financial independence, followed by the conversion to USDT and final transfer to MetaMask. My hands trembled slightly as I typed the wallet address, double-checking each character while the mechanical keyboard clicked like a countdown timer. Total exposure, $673,441, representing years of disciplined saving and our family's entire financial future concentrated in a single investment that promised to secure Emily's education and our retirement simultaneously. The platform confirmed my increased allocation within hours, dashboards showing funds distributed across expanded arbitrage strategies with even more sophisticated names and detailed explanations. Daily returns increased proportionally, and by December, my account balance showed $731,000 with consistent growth that validated every risk I'd undertaken. Marcus's Instagram stories continued showcasing his Monaco yacht and private jet lifestyle, while group members posted celebration screenshots that reinforced the collective success narrative. The psychological validation was intoxicating, transforming months of careful research and professional skepticism into confident anticipation of financial freedom. The collapse arrived without warning, on a Tuesday morning when I attempted to withdraw $100,000 for year-end tax obligations and Emily's tuition deposit.
Instead of the usual immediate confirmation, I received an automated message stating withdrawals were temporarily suspended due to smart contract optimization and security upgrades, requiring 72 hours completion. The technical explanation included legitimate-sounding details about gas fee optimization and cross-chain bridge maintenance that would convince most DeFi users, but my forensic instincts immediately triggered at the timing and vague nature of the delay. 72 hours became a week, then 2 weeks, with increasingly desperate support chat messages receiving generic responses about compliance reviews and enhanced KYC requirements that I recognized from dozens of fraud investigations. The AlphaQuant Pro website began displaying 404 errors, intermittently, then permanently. The Telegram group vanished overnight, member list deleted without trace. Marcus's Instagram account disappeared, replaced by a generic fitness page with completely different content history. The metallic taste of panic filled my mouth as I traced my deposits through Etherscan, watching $673,441 flow through familiar money laundering patterns I documented in federal cases. Hot wallet to aggregator address to bridge to mixer pool, the digital equivalent of burning cash in an untraceable fire.
The blockchain never lies, but it took me 48 sleepless hours to accept what the immutable ledger was screaming about my stolen future. My home office transformed into a federal forensics laboratory, 3 monitors casting blue light across scattered printouts, while my laser printer hummed constantly, the smell of hot toner mixing with cold coffee I'd been nursing since dawn. Using Chainalysis Reactor, Crystal Analytics, and proprietary FBI blockchain analysis tools, I began tracing every Satoshi of my stolen $673,441 through the digital labyrinth Marcus had constructed. The metallic taste of adrenaline coated my tongue as transaction after transaction revealed the sophisticated architecture of his money laundering operation, each hop through decentralized exchanges and privacy mixers, demonstrating knowledge that went far beyond typical Instagram scammer capabilities. Marcus hadn't simply grabbed funds and fled like an amateur criminal. My USDT had been immediately converted to Ethereum, split across 23 different wallet addresses using automated smart contracts that triggered sequential transactions every 8 minutes to avoid pattern detection algorithms. From there, funds flowed through Tornado Cash mixer pools, cross-chain bridges to Binance Smart Chain, conversion to privacy coins like Monero and Zcash, then back to Bitcoin through decentralized exchanges operating in jurisdictions with minimal KYC requirements. The technical sophistication was breathtaking, the kind of operational security that requires months of planning and deep understanding of blockchain forensics capabilities. But Marcus made the fatal error that destroys most cryptocurrency criminals. He got careless about fiat off-ramps, where digital assets become spendable money. Using advanced clustering analysis, I discovered multiple wallet addresses in his laundering network had converged on specific Binance and Kraken accounts that regularly withdrew large amounts to traditional banking systems. Cross-referencing withdrawal patterns with cached Instagram story timestamps revealed correlation between his luxury lifestyle posts and specific liquidation events, creating a forensic timeline that would make federal prosecutors salivate. The breakthrough came buried in smart contract metadata, where Marcus's developer had left a digital fingerprint. One automated splitting contract contained a comment field with an email address, admin@alphaquant-backend.com. Whoas records were privacy masked, but DNS history revealed previous MX records pointing to a Miami hosting provider, and cached search results showed the domain registered under Chen Digital Holdings LLC. Florida corporate filings confirmed the company with a registered agent in Coral Gables, but property records showed the same address used by Marcus T. Chen for a luxury condo purchased with cryptocurrency proceeds 4 months after launching AlphaQuant Pro. I began building what federal prosecutors call a victim coalition, using social media intelligence and cryptocurrency fraud forums to identify others who'd fallen for Marcus's sophisticated Instagram scheme. Within 72 hours of careful outreach using encrypted signal communications, I'd connected with 31 confirmed victims across 8 countries who'd lost amounts ranging from $28,000 to $890,000. The pattern was methodical and chilling. Marcus had been cultivating relationships with high-net-worth crypto enthusiasts for over 18 months, building trust through educational content before launching coordinated fraud operations targeting each victim's specific psychological vulnerabilities and financial situations. Together, we created a comprehensive database documenting Marcus's crimes, totaling over $12.3 million across 47 confirmed victims. Each new victim added federal counts, transforming individual theft into a RICO racketeering case that would demand prosecutorial attention at the highest levels. Dr. Sarah Martinez from Fidelity turned out to be a hired actress, her LinkedIn profile completely fabricated. James Wilson existed, but had never heard of Marcus, his professional credentials stolen and weaponized for social proof that convinced sophisticated investors like myself. I drafted preservation letters citing 18 U.S.C. 2703F for cryptocurrency exchanges and 31 U.S.C. 5318 for banks, including specific transaction hashes, wallet clusters, IP address logs, and device fingerprints that would freeze Marcus's assets and preserve evidence for federal prosecution. My language was legally bulletproof, the kind of technical documentation that makes compliance departments work overtime and preservation teams take immediate action. Simultaneously, I filed comprehensive complaints with the FBI Cybercrime Division, SEC enforcement citing Rule 10b-5 securities fraud, and detailed packages to FBI field offices in Miami flagging wire fraud under 18 U.S.C. 1343, money laundering under 18 U.S.C. 1956, and conspiracy charges under 18 U.S.C. 1371. The psychological warfare intensified when Marcus launched a fresh Instagram account as David Park, claiming to be a former SpaceX engineer who developed revolutionary DeFi protocols, already accumulating 240,000 followers through purchased engagement. The arrogance was breathtaking. He was running identical psychological manipulation tactics on new victims, while my stolen money funded his continued luxury lifestyle and operational expenses for expanded fraud schemes. When he tried recruiting me again under this new identity, apparently not recognizing my carefully anonymized social media profiles, I knew his operational security was cracking under pressure. Special Agent Michael Ortiz from FBI's Chicago Cybercrime Division listened without interruption as I walked through my blockchain analysis in a fluorescent-lit conference room that smelled like government coffee and old carpet. When I finished presenting the evidence binder thick as a phone book, he asked 3 precise questions about methodology, nodded approvingly, and called Assistant U.S. Attorney Daniel Brooks on speaker. "We'll draft 2703D orders and seizure affidavits today," Brooks said, after reviewing my forensic timeline, "but keep monitoring his wallets and don't spook him yet." I left the federal building with quiet satisfaction humming in my bones, that electric feeling when investigative momentum reaches critical mass. Setting live alerts on every wallet in Marcus's laundering cluster, I prepared to document his next moves while federal agencies coordinated arrest warrants and asset seizure orders. Marcus had stolen from the wrong person, someone who possessed 18 years of federal blockchain forensics experience and the relentless determination to follow digital breadcrumbs across international borders. The hunter had become the hunted, and Marcus Chen was about to learn that stealing from an FBI analyst carries consequences measured in decades.
The trap closed on Marcus Chen at 5:47 a.m. on a Friday morning in February, exactly 108 days after he'd stolen my $673,441. I was monitoring blockchain alerts in my home office, the familiar aroma of strong coffee mixing with anticipation, when my secure phone buzzed with a text that made me smile for the first time in months. Miami package secured. Target in custody. Special Agent Jennifer Walsh had just confirmed Marcus was in federal custody, arrested at his Coral Gables penthouse as he attempted to transfer another $750,000 through his Kraken account to Swiss banking connections. The metallic sound of handcuffs clicking shut echoed through his marble foyer while federal agents photographed luxury watches, designer clothing, and cryptocurrency hardware wallets scattered across his dining table like evidence of digital piracy. According to Agent Walsh, Marcus had been so confident in his operational security that he'd been live streaming on Instagram when FBI agents breached his door, his phone still recording as his carefully curated influencer persona shattered in real time. The federal indictment was a prosecutor's masterpiece. 47 counts of wire fraud under 18 U.S.C. 1343, 21 counts of money laundering under 18 U.S.C. 1956, 14 counts of securities fraud, and 6 counts of conspiracy. Marcus was facing 30 to 35 years under federal sentencing guidelines with no possibility of parole before serving 85%. The asset seizure was swift and comprehensive, executed simultaneously across 3 states and 2 countries. Within hours, federal marshals had frozen $7.2 million across 23 bank accounts, seized his rented Lamborghini Aventador and McLaren 720S, and placed liens on his Miami penthouse and Turks and Caicos villa. The cryptocurrency seizures were even more satisfying. Agent Walsh's team recovered 1,847 Bitcoin, 31,000 Ethereum, and over $3.8 million in stablecoins from wallets Marcus thought were untraceable through advanced mixing services. The media coverage was explosive and immediate. Marcus's mugshot appeared on every major financial news outlet within hours, his polished Instagram image completely destroyed. Miami Instagram trader arrested in $12.8 million cryptocurrency fraud scheme screamed headlines across Bloomberg, CNBC, and cryptocurrency publications. Local news stations ran footage of his luxury cars being towed while neighbors filmed with phones, his building swarming with federal agents carrying boxes of evidence. His 850,000 Instagram followers began posting angry comments, demanding refunds, sharing screenshots of their losses, and tagging federal agencies in posts that went viral across cryptocurrency communities. The blue verification checkmark that had legitimized his entire operation became a scarlet letter marking him as a confirmed federal criminal. The preliminary hearing was scheduled for March 20th, with me listed as the government's primary expert witness. Marcus's high-priced defense attorney tried desperately to negotiate a plea deal, but Assistant U.S. Attorney Daniel Brooks saw no reason for concessions. "Your client targeted an FBI blockchain analyst," Brooks told the defense team. "The forensic evidence is overwhelming. We have documented every transaction, every lie, every attempt at concealment. 32 years minimum, full restitution, and lifetime prohibition from social media and cryptocurrency ownership." The trial lasted 11 days, though the outcome felt inevitable from opening statements. I testified for 7 hours across 3 days, walking federal jurors through my blockchain analysis with methodical precision, while prosecutors displayed transaction flows on courtroom screens. The prosecution used my forensic work as their case foundation, showing how each theft had been executed, concealed, and laundered through sophisticated cryptocurrency mixing services. Marcus's defense strategy was pathetic, claiming he'd been a legitimate trader who suffered unforeseeable market volatility that prevented client withdrawals. During cross-examination, his attorney tried painting me as a biased victim seeking revenge. "Agent Hayes," he said with false concern, "isn't it true you lost significant money and might harbor bias?" I looked him directly in the eye, then addressed the jury with calm precision. "My analysis is based on immutable blockchain data and 18 years of federal forensic principles, not personal feelings. The evidence shows Mr. Chen committed systematic wire fraud, money laundering, and securities violations." I concluded with calculated emphasis.
Blockchain creates permanent records of every transaction. Mr. Chen's entire criminal enterprise is permanently recorded on distributed ledgers that cannot be altered or disputed. The jury deliberated less than 4 hours, returning guilty verdicts on all counts. When the foreman read "guilty" for the first time, Marcus's shoulders sagged like a collapsing building. By the 20th guilty verdict, he was staring at his hands while his attorney whispered desperate consolations. The sentencing hearing 3 months later was my moment of complete vindication. Judge Patricia Williams listened to victim impact statements from 28 people whose lives Marcus had destroyed. When my turn came, I looked directly at Marcus and spoke words I'd rehearsed. Your Honor, the defendant weaponized social media influence and cryptocurrency technology to commit unprecedented fraud. He didn't just steal money, he destroyed families, retirement plans, and children's educational futures while flaunting a luxury lifestyle funded by our stolen savings. This represents calculated, predatory behavior demonstrating complete moral bankruptcy. Marcus wouldn't meet my eyes, staring at the defense table while his shoulders shook. Judge Williams sentenced him to 32 years in federal prison with no parole possibility before serving 85%. Full restitution of $12.8 million plus interest. Lifetime ban from social media platforms and cryptocurrency ownership. Forfeiture of all assets purchased with stolen proceeds. When federal marshals led Marcus away in shackles, he finally looked at me one last time. The fear and defeat in his eyes was everything I'd hoped to see during those sleepless nights building the forensic case. 2 years later, my family had recovered financially through restitution payments and seized asset distributions. Emily graduated from MIT with cybersecurity degrees, saying she wants to hunt digital criminals like her father. Marcus Chen is serving his sentence at USP Colnan, where cryptocurrency fraud carries no special privileges. If someone approaches you with guaranteed crypto returns on social media, remember, the blockchain never forgets, and neither do the people who know how to read it.